This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Mabuhay! You're watching the Business Portal, your gateway to business trends and opportunities. And I'm your host, Howell Mabalo. Mabuhay and welcome to the Business Portal on the Corporate World. I am your host, Howell Mabalot, for this first segment, and you're watching us live in the Philippines via G Satellite Channel 1, Sky Cable 213, and Destiny Cable Channel 8. And for our Southeast Asian friends, you can watch us live via G Satellite Channel 1. At para naman sa mga kaibigan natin sa buong mundo, you can watch us live via gnn-asiatv.com. Our topic for this morning is about time plus productivity equals success. And with us today is none other than the CEO of Mathey Management, hashtag the world is yours, none other than a beauty queen herself, an international beauty queen herself, who turned to be one of the best and the most inspiring people in the industry. Now, let's all welcome Ms. Mathey Velasco. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Howell.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So, would you like to greet your Australian friends and the Filipino friends all over the world?
Hello, kamusta po kayong lahat? I'm here. I'm ready to inspire you all. I miss all my family in Australia, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the future.
Wow, thank you so much. And the good thing about you is that you have come full circle from being a beauty queen to a mentor yourself. So how did it come about?
First and foremost, I think my really big inspiration are my parents. They decided to take the risk of moving to a country that's unknown to them. Only thing that they knew is that they wanted to give their kids a better life.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of the Filipinos, OFWs,
Have those.
know what that means. And just watching them, seeing them, how they were able to grow and be successful through the hardships. I believe that that's where I got my strength from.
Wow.
And then leading up to the pageant scene, I didn't know that I will actually take that path kasi tennis player ako eh.
Wow.
I played tennis for almost 15 years. That was my first passion.
That was your first love.
Yes, that was my first love. I guess being a daddy's girl,
Okay.
my father wanted me to go through sports.
So that's a good thing about women and men and kids growing in Australia. Your focus is not only academic; it's
Right.
also about the sports.
Yes.
So for 15 years you were playing, and who noticed you?
So my aunt actually represented the Philippines at the Miss Universe in
So
1984.
you are a clan of beautiful people.
Yes, I have a very good genes,
Yes.
I guess, from my family.
Both sides of the family.
Both sides.
Okay.
My dad is, tall and handsome. My mom is beautiful, but they're both intelligent and
That's
they're
a good
both
thing, and
strong.
that would be your edge.
So at first, I was noticed at a party because it was my uncle's 50th, and my dad was very. He supported the Kapampangan community. He's
Okay.
from Tarlac City. And in Australia, every year they have this fiesta, Filipino fiesta, where each province has a candidate and they represent their province. So they saw me walk, and I guess I was tall, but I was really boyish at that time. It's just that I was forced to wear a nice dress for
Oh,
the
yeah.
50th birthday. And so they approached my dad. And my dad, was caught off guard. He's a typical traditional Filipino dad.
father, yes.
Will not want me to wear two-piece, ganon. So when they asked him, Hoy, si Mafe, ang ganda pala.
Pwede, yeah.
Siya na yung candidate natin for next year.
Okay.
So, no choice, my dad, because it's also for a good cause.
Yes.
I joined, and I was lucky enough to win all the titles.
Wow.
I
You're
was-
not lucky. You are blessed.
So
Yes.
they were known to win Miss Charity Queen every
Mm.
year. So that was a for sure crown for me. Unknowingly that I was also going to win Miss Philippines Australia.
Okay, so,
So-
you represented Australia during the Miss World competition?
Oh, no. In
in
Australia.
Australia.
So I represented the Kapampangan community.
In
That was my first pageant.
Yes,
In
that was-
Australia. It was Miss Philippines Australia.
And then after that,
And then after that,
strings of
my aunt
women.
said, you can join Binibini if you want. So of course, why not? You know, I was very inspired when I won Miss Philippines Australia. The money that we raised, I was able to donate myself to the orphanages.
Wow.
We visited Hospicio de San Jose, also Children Orphanage, and my heart was very touched. I said, okay, if I was able to wear a crown and a sash and help my fellow men, then I will pursue for the top.
wow.
So I graduated because that was the deal between my parents. Now
You
I
have to finish
graduate
college,
college, so
yes.
I graduated. As soon as I turned 21, 2 weeks later, that's when I said I'm moving to the Philippines. I took the risk. I did not tell my close friends even. Only my family knew the reason why I was coming back. So my journey was really tough.
Wow.
Because when fast forward,
Because you were born in the Philippines.
I
and
was
then
born in the
raised in
Philippines,
Australia.
raised in Australia, but my parents always had the Filipino culture.
Okay, that's a good
instilled
thing.
in us.
You stayed there for how many years?
Almost 17 years.
Almost 17. And then you
Yes.
came back. Was it hard for you to?
It was hard
It was-
because I was an Aussie, so
Okay.
I was very trustworthy. I was so open.
So-
Everybody I thought would be my friend, but
And
in
yet-
all honesty, you know, it's a cutthroat country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's also trying to succeed. So me, I guess I had an upper hand from being, I guess my English was fluent, and I just had this strong, I guess, personality that I can do anything.
That's a good thing.
So, unfortunately, the reality of the world, there are certain individuals that don't like people like that.
Some people would bash you and then pull you down.
So, I had my challenges, and lucky enough, I had a very strong support group. And I had to learn on my own also.
Wow.
So, another challenge from moving here, I was one of the candidates of Binibini, but then I was disqualified.
Because you were.
I think not a lot of people knew about this because they changed the residency to 1 year instead of 6 months.
Oh.
So I moved here August. The audition was February.
so that's
not
less
1
less
year.
than a month.
Uh,
That's less than a year.
Exactly.
Just half.
So I cried. I was here for 6 months. You know, I sacrificed
A lot.
a lot.
Just to be here.
So, thank the Lord, my faith and the prayers were answered. It was the 40th year of Binibini that time, and there were other strong candidates that were also disqualified. So there was a lot
Oh.
of field foreigners.
Oh, okay.
Part of it. Lucky enough, Stella Arneta, who is also my ninang now, she was able to speak to the lawyers and said, let's let them join.
Let them
Next
join.
year, we'll do the 1 year residency. So
Good thing they made that decision.
oh my gosh. So thank the Lord. I enjoyed my journey through Binibini. And then again, I was lucky enough to win Miss World
Binibini
title.
Pilipinas
Although
Miss
I
World?
was vying for the Miss Universe because I wanted to follow the footsteps of my aunt.
Oh, okay.
But I did not regret that journey because I met 108 girls
And
from all
Jackie
over the
Chan.
world. Exactly.
And
Jackie
Jackie
Chan was
Chan.
one of my
Okay.
judges. Regardless, I didn't bring home the crown. I was top 5, and to me, that was already very memorable because ako lang yung only Filipina that was able to represent the country that year.
And
And,
you-
that's something I
that's-
tell the girls I mentor,
Yeah.
especially the ones who go abroad.
And that was how many years ago? You winning the...
2003, matagal na.
Wow. Talaga? So how old were you when you
Yes.
joined?
I joined when I was 21, and I represented the country when I was 23.
So how many years have you been mentoring these women now who would like to join the
I
pageants?
want to say that I have been mentoring even young girls since Miss Philippines Australia, so
Okay.
1998.
So you were doing your mentoring not only in Australia but mostly in the Philippines.
Yes.
Now, so what are the success stories you've had for your little girls
Okay.
who you mentored and somehow joined the?
So I did a lot of mentoring with the candidates that have won internationally. I was able to guide Lara Kegaman before she
Wow.
left.
Oh, Miss
Actually, I was
International.
pregnant at the time, even
Wow.
mentoring her. It became a love of mine because I feel as though that people need that extra push to really showcase what their talents are,
So,
or
were you a-
what their reason of being here. You know,
Were
in
you a
the world.
pushy coach, or do you just nudge them gently?
No,
Okay.
I want to let them know that time is of the essence. Like my motto, time,
Okay, time
plus
plus productivity.
productivity equals success. Without putting time and acting upon it, who else is going to help you?
So they
you
have to
know?
really invest their time in bettering themselves.
Yes, oo naman. Because, you know, life happens so fast. I mean, being a mom now, seeing my kids grow up, ang bilis.
Ang bilis. And,
All of a
in
sudden-
fact, I didn't know that this young man is actually your
Yes,
son.
so, you know, Nico's, you know, he's a young man now.
Yeah.
And then I have next
You could
month.
easily pass for his sister.
Thank you. Next month, I will have 3 children in high school. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened?
Wow.
Time happens, you know.
But the good thing is, you, as time went by, you were able to maintain your grace, your posture, your beauty, and your brains.
Well, that's what I tell the people that I guide or I mentor, is that we all have different priorities in different stages of our lives. You know, I always dig deep and tell them, what's your why? Why do you wake up in the morning? For me, right now, it's for my children. It's for my family, for my husband. You know, I'm the type of woman that want to also work. I'm not a housewife.
Yes.
Although
And,
he forces me to be a housewife.
although being a
I'm so
housewife
sorry.
is also a noble calling.
I mean, I do balance it. My children are homeschooled.
Oh.
So I make sure that I also have time to teach them, apart from having a tutor.
So
you know?
how do you manage stress and time and priorities?
I'm human. You know,
So-
we have feelings.
Yes,
we
we
have
do.
to. We have to have breakdowns. We have to have ups and downs. Otherwise, we won't be able to learn from them. You know, I'm not saying that being a mother is easy. No, being a woman.
I think that's the toughest job on earth.
It
being a
is.
mother.
It is. That's why I really praise moms who become very successful in their businesses, very successful on taking care of their children. I am with a lot of mommy communities right now, and I'm inspired by them each and every day. You know, I complain at times, but I think about those people. I think about other people who have no senses, meaning their 5 senses.
Yes.
Because I do a lot of charity work for the Philippines School
And
of
you
the
know
Blind.
some people who are differently abled.
Right.
Who are
So
lacking in some.
how I also bring my children to know this kind of lifestyle is that we do a lot of charity work. with
and by
the-
doing that, you keep your kids grounded.
Yes. Especially in this generation.
Yes, I agree.
You know, ang
So-
hirap na yun eh. you
And
know.
speaking of this
Right.
generation, diba, is it harder to coach and mentor these young millennials as compared to the Y generation?
I want to say that there's different guides to guiding certain people. You have to relate to what they're passionate about. You know, in my workshop just the other day, which
These
was
are the pictures that we're seeing right
yeah,
now.
this is
Young
with
women.
the Adamson
Adamson
volleyball
University?
team. Yes,
Wow.
they're the Lady Falcons.
I'm an Adamsonian.
My grandfather was a
Soar High Falcons!
my mom graduated in Adamson, so this was very close to me. I told these girls, you know, you guys are lucky. You have scholarships. You have free education. All you have to do is turn up to class.
So the reason why they have free education is because they represent the
Yes.
school during the sports competition. But the thing is, some kids would just focus on the sports and not the academics.
Right.
And you step in.
Oh, and that's what I tell them. You know, anybody or another girl can take your spot at any time. So
Wow.
if you don't take care of your position right now, you
That's
might
right
as well.
in their face.
Yeah, you have
You have
to
to
be.
tell. Yeah, you have to be.
You know, for them to really understand that time is very important. A lot of girls, a lot in the Philippines are less fortunate. We were classified as a third
That's third
world
world
country.
country, yes.
So your position is very lucky. You know, you're in a lucky position where you have to embrace it. You have to take care of the people who are taking the time and effort to make you better.
So the way I see it, you are using your beauty and brains and your and of course your experience in mentoring women, especially young women.
Yes.
And you see the great potential in them, and you want them to go for it.
Yes. I
Wow.
mean, if I did, and if other, like I said, non-able
Yes.
individuals can do it and be happy, why not
Much
you?
more, yeah.
You know, exactly, much more you, where you're healthy. You can see, you can hear.
Yes, and the good thing about your work is that you get rewarded immediately. Because at that moment, the product or service
Yes.
that you give out is being consumed at that particular
Yes.
moment. So you would see the immediate reaction. whether they cry or,
Right.
or smile
Yes.
or have an aha
Yeah.
moment.
Actually, I love the fact that when they become emotion, because
Okay.
that's when I know I really touched their heart.
Wow.
Or I really touched their soul, because it's that reminder that we need each day from people. I don't want to say I'm the best at it, but like me.
But
you
you're
know?
effective in your craft. We can say that.
Yes.
Because there are three I's whenever we conduct seminars.
Right.
We inform, we
Right.
inspire, but if you're able to influence them
Yes.
to take action and to change their mindset,
Yeah.
you must have succeeded.
Yes.
And that's a good thing.
Uh-uh.
So, when was MAFE Management born?
It was born 3.5 years ago.
And yet you were coaching ever since. I mean, many years
Yes,
ago.
I was coaching ever since, but since we moved to the States, probably the first time my husband retired from the PBA, and coming back to the Philippines, I was able to have an opportunity with Jing Mones, who became my mentor. I think ever since I moved to the Philippines,
Okay.
anyways, he acquired me as his marketing and PR director for his salon, and I was able to learn from him on campaigns, events, managing talents, celebrities. So after my experience with him and just the balance of my family,
Yes.
after 2 years, I ventured on my own, of course, with his blessing. And there, I was able to move on, seeing how he was able to make people happy.
And you have been making people happy ever since. So
Yes.
that's a good thing.
That's my whole intention.
We would like to have you more on the show,
Thank
have
you.
more of you on the show,
Yes.
and if you could possibly host a show of
Oh,
your
yes.
own on
That's-
GNN, would
that's
be
one of
even
my
more
bucket
glad.
list.
So once again, thank you so much,
Thank you,
Mafe.
Howell.
You are such a great blessing
Thank
to the
you.
Philippines. Thank you for coming back, and thank you for giving back to the community. So don't go away. We'll be right back for more inspiration coming from Renlyn Tan and our highly esteemed guest as well. We promise that. So